All right, let's talk about some other options for quarterbacks here, some legitimate options, because NJ Advanced Media went ahead and asked a whole bunch of people here, as they call them, quote unquote experts. Because I always say that because I feel like that word is tossed around way too often. But they asked some experts, 17 of them, who is going to start at quarterback for the Giants in 2025. This was an article by Ryan Novinsky. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing his last name correctly there. I've never heard it said, but I'm trying to say it phonetically here. And we always have to give credit to people when they write stuff, and we talk about it on our show because it's not ours to talk about without giving credit to them. So here's the experts and their reactions. First up, Jameis Winston, who was asked who is going to start at quarterback for the Giants in 2025. His answer, me. I love it. First off, I love the fun. Dude, him in New York would just be freaking so much fun. It's not even funny.
He was fun in New Orleans.
Oh my God, he's hilarious. He was on Bourbon Street throwing crab legs at people. Like, what the hell? Who does that? Like, you're known for literally for your the most embarrassing thing of your career as a football player. This is before he started his pro career, but in college, was him getting in trouble for supposedly stealing crab legs. And here you are throwing crab legs at people on Bourbon Street. And loving it. And loving it. And asking every single person where he's going to work next year because he needs a job. Absolutely hilarious. I loved it. I'm telling you right now, if he's not on one of the NFL crews when he's done playing officially, like I'm not wishing that, like, you play as long as you can, as long as you want. As long as you can and you want, play. But damn, he's got to go somewhere when he's done. Got to go somewhere. So
let's go to the New York market. Work with Strahan.
Exactly. Just don't fight any flies with him. So they also asked another former Buck, former defensive tackle Gerald McCoy, and his response was also hilarious. He says, "Shoot, I don't know. You got to ask the Giants that. Though I don't know if their GM makes the best decisions." Wow! Geez. Shots fired. Shots fired. And obviously, that's leading up to the Super Bowl, so I'm sure that was a shot about the Saquon scenario there. But oh my gosh, he's not wrong though, guys. Yeah, this goes way beyond the Saquon. Goes way beyond that. Pro Football Talk Mike Florio says, "Wow, that's a great question." Which is what people say when they're trying to buy time to answer a question. I assume it's going to be a veteran. It comes down to which veteran they decide. It's an open book. Which, by the way, I love that he actually physically said, which is what people say when they're trying to buy time to answer a question. Yeah. Because, we've talked about the show before. We call it out when people say that. I think it's hilarious. It's smart because you don't give a stupid answer. It's a good thing for young people that are in, media relations and stuff and have to talk to the press to learn to say. But it's just hilarious that he called himself out on it. And he's not wrong, I think, on that, too. I do think he'll be a veteran, at least to start the season.
Yeah.
To start the season. NFL Network's Tom Pelissero. He says, "Oh, man, my bet is that they get one of the guys in the draft, but it's early, man. Way too early." Now, he's also right. I just don't think that's who starts for the Giants.
Yeah, they're probably in for the Giants.
Yeah, I think a veteran starts. Then they came across a GOAT while they were there, and they asked him. The man, the myth, the legend himself, Lawrence Taylor, LT, said, "Honestly, I haven't been able to look at the possibilities that much. Hey, it could be a rookie. I like Shedeur, but we'll see." So LT is officially giving the stamp of approval on Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah. Interesting.
Another former Giant. We got a lot of Giants and former Giants here. Kurt Warner. People forget he was a Giant for like 2 seconds.
I was about to say, for a hot minute.
It's 2004. It's an important year. He played the position we're asking a quarterback to play next year. It's that bridge there. So, as we lost you there.
My camera.
Your camera went. Where'd your camera go? Get your camera back. Oh, we lost him entirely now. No more Rob.
Oh, gee.
So, Kurt Warner says, "I have no idea. I haven't gotten into the college stuff yet, to be honest, but I think Brian Daboll is an excellent coach who will do great with whoever he gets." Listen, if you ever want to know why Kurt Warner's in the media, there you go. That is as easy an answer as you could possibly give. Like, guys, take notes on that too while you're at it. Take notes. God damn, that is as classic as avoidance of a question you could possibly get.
Yeah.
Uh,
I don't want to ruffle any feathers. That's
yeah,
exactly what
basically,
he
that's
said.
exactly what he did. He said that basically. So, Bobby Okereke, current Giants linebacker, says Tommy DeVito. Another great answer, by the way, because let's be honest, he does not want Tommy DeVito to start, but Tommy DeVito is the only guy considered an active quarterback in the Giants roster.
100%. That's
That
another
was
one.
his avoiding the question.
Don't ruffle any feathers. But
Exactly.
damn, that boy will keep me on the field for a long time.
And that was seconded by Giants edge rusher Kayvon Thibodeau, who put it a little more eloquently, saying, shit, Tommy's the only one under contract, right? Classic Thibodeau. Jalen Hyatt said, there's a lot of free agents that I like. Then obviously you got the draft and your quarterbacks. To be honest, I really don't know. I really don't have an answer because I like all of them. I like Cam Ward. I like Shedeur Sanders. And I do love some free agents too. You can never go wrong with the vet. Jalen Hurts. Oh, Jalen Hurts. Sorry. Wrong Jalen. Jalen Hyatt.
Yes.
When your career is done, which might be soon the way you're playing, you have a future in the media, sir. You have a future in media. Like, goddamn, that is as good an answer as you're going to get. I love the fact that there's like nobody's giving any stupid answers that's actually associated with the Giants right now. You know, Jameis Winston's was funny and Gerald McCoy is the only crappy one. So, the NFL insider Ian Rappaport said, my guess is it's a rookie first rounder. I don't know how it's going to happen, but it's an obvious quarterback need. They've done all the homework. Joe Shane and his guys have been out the entire season doing as many visits as you can imagine. I don't know which rookie, which I know is not very exciting, but I'm almost certain it's a rookie. Then they sign a bridge quarterback to come in and hold the spot until he's ready. Which is interesting because he's saying it's a rookie, but then he's saying it's not a rookie. I don't think he understood the question. Could someone repeat the question, please, for Ian Rappaport? Far be it for us to correct Ian Rappaport. He's obviously got much more clout in the business than we do. But, yeah, he basically said a veteran after spending the first 5 minutes discussing rookies.
Probably. I mean,
he's not wrong.
I mean, as I say, he's a smart guy. He understands the game and understands like how to win football games. Yeah. Like, get yourself a bridge, just like we said.
Yep.
He's probably going to start the year. We'll finish.
And at this point, we are like Simon and Garfunkel. This is a bridge over troubled water. Oh, I went there.
Oh, you did.
Now, if you're going to ask LT, you got to ask Phil Simms, right? Phil Simms says, I think they like Cam Ward, but I don't think they can get Cam Ward. Man, it'll probably end up being like Sam Darnold. Wow, did he just make Sam Darnold seem like a consolation prize? After all the goddamn answers we've gotten that have been good. Like, really well said, well thought, don't piss anybody off answers except for Gerald McCoy. But here's Phil Simms saying, yeah, they probably want Cam Ward. They won't get him. They'll be stuck with Sam Darnold, basically. Wow. Oh, my gosh. And this is a guy that's in media, by the way, guys. All we said should join the media stuff eventually. No, this is a guy that's in media and has been in media for quite some years now. Oh, my
quite some years.
CBS Sports Radio, Zach Gelb says, it's Shedeur Sanders. I want Shedeur in a big market. It would be so fun. Yeah. Honestly, I think it's Shedeur Sanders. Personally, it's going to be. But I'm more with Ian. I think it's going to be a veteran with a rookie. And you're going to see the veteran probably start the season, and yeah, I mean, Shedeur is going to be the guy, guys. Spoiler: it's going to be Shedeur Sanders.
85% sure. It's going
to be as long as he's available, he will be a Giant. I'm telling you that right now. That's the way it's going to be. Things will never be the same. Do-do-do, do-do-do, do-do-do. That's just the way it is. Pro Football Focus is Trevor Sycamore. By the way, it's the second time we've talked about him in this episode. I think it's the first time we ever talked about him. That's 2 times 1 episode. Kudos to you, Trevor. Kudos to you. He says, you talk about Dion being involved and where the Sanders family would want him to go. New York is that place. Mara is pissed off to be great. I think they're going to want to draft a quarterback in this class, and it feels like Cam Ward will be the one going off the will be the first one going off the board. But whether it's a mini little trade up or whatever, to me, it just feels like all the vibes and everything I'm hearing point towards Shador somehow, some way, being a Giant in 2025. Not that I'm putting a lot of draft stock in that incredible dapped up handshake we saw on the sidelines of the Shrine Bowl, but it's the fact that I learned they really sent everybody to interview him. They're clearly doing a ton of research on him and spending time with him while he was at the Shrine Bowl. They're doing all their research on him. I wonder what inside knowledge he has on the research they've done on Cam Ward, because I gotta say, and this is part of why I keep on saying I think it's Shador Sanders as well. You always hear that. Giants did all this work on Sanders. Giants did all the work on Sanders. The Giants went to go visit Cam Ward. Done.
Yeah.
Like, they don't go on and on about it. Now, I will say this. Keep in mind, this is the same front office that wanted nothing to do with Kayvon Thibodeau supposedly before the draft. So you have to remember there's a lot of BS spins and all kinds of crazy misdirections going on this time of year as well. It could be the Giants freaking love Cam Ward, and they just don't want people knowing that. I personally think they want Shador Sanders, but this time of the year, you never know. There's so much deflection. There's so much BS going around. That's just the way it goes. ESPN's Mina Kumis says, Shador Sanders is my uninformed speculation based on what everyone is saying. A young quarterback is definitely the way to go for them, and they clearly like him. Okay. I like that she at least admits she has no inside knowledge. I don't know why she was included in this. Here's the experts. I have no knowledge.
Don't talk to me.
Like, you've kind of lost that expert status there with that. Former Falcons GM Thomas Dimitroff. I always mispronounce his name. You know him, Tommy Boy. He says, I've been reading all of this about Shador Sanders and how he's going to come in there and be the savior, of course. I'm not convinced yet about what the top 2-3 quarterbacks are going to be. Of course, having interviewed for another New York team, I was wondering what they were going to do with their quarterback situation as well. This is a really interesting draft for quarterbacks. I can't give you the exact answer. I think it's probably is more Shador Sanders, which, by the way, that right there is interesting because he did mention the fact that he asked the Jets about it. So he has some knowledge about what's going on that side of the New York there. But yeah, I think he's right. And I think he's not wrong for sitting there saying that he's not so sure what these quarterbacks are. I can't sit there and say that either. I can't. ESPN Mad Dog Chris Russo. Remember him from the old Mike and the Mad Dog days where I still remember him from? Yeah. It seems weird to me still to see him on ESPN. He says, I don't have the answer for you. I don't think he's on the roster. First off, they technically don't even have a quarterback on the roster. They haven't signed DeVito to any kind of contract yet. Anyway, he says, lock Tommy DeVito. It's not going to be them. Maybe Shador, but I don't think he's a first-round pick. I don't think it's going to be him. I don't have the answer for you, which tells you all you need to know. That's why it's interesting, because I don't have the answer. I don't like Cam Ward. I don't love him at all at Miami. I thought he was very shaky at Miami. Would Darnold come back to New York? No. I don't know. I don't think he's coming anywhere near New York City. You know what? Maybe Kirk Cousins is possible. First off, if that is not the most Mad Dog answer anywhere, point blank. Like, seriously, like the ramblings of that man, the absolute ramblings, insanity.
Yeah.
Absolutely insanity. It's like he does that and he just rambles and rambles and rambles and rambles. But I don't know, Kirk Cousins, you think that's I don't know. Probably got so many spots that need quarterbacks right now. And it's so hard to tell because there's a lot of veteran quarterbacks that'll be available.
A lot that will probably be cheaper than there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Clark.
So we'll see what happens. Yeah.
If you like that clip, then you will love the full episodes too. Find us on your favorite podcast app and look for us on all your favorite social media platforms.
Thanks so much.
Please, I'm begging you.